Hi everyone, and welcome to the Aries June 2023 Illumination reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot, a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. So hi everyone and welcome. This is a reading that is going to be taking a look at the month of June. So we're going to first be pulling a couple cards here for what you're bringing to the month. Then we're going to look at what Spirit is asking you really to reflect on and embrace by the end of the month here so that you can really continue to grow in your spiritual experience. So we're going to be looking at a block, we're going to be looking at advice from Spirit, and then we're going to be looking at the blessings that really want to come in for you by the end of this month. Now, Aries, right off the bat, we have the Six of Cups and the Page of Swords. This is that internal energy of being curious about your past, about really taking a look at who you were, what are the gifts you can bring forward, maybe looking at a time in your life. This could be, if this was external energy, this would be kind of spying on somebody from your past or somebody spying on you, meaning kind of watching from outside, looking at you, someone that you've known from the past. But when it's internal, this is more almost like spying on yourself, spying on your past self, looking at something in your life and reflecting on it, being curious about maybe looking at it from a new perspective. So we'll see how that factors in here into your larger reading. Now we have the Queen of Swords in your external environment, or basically what Spirit's asking you really to embrace by the end of this month. The Queen of Swords, she is someone who knows her story. She speaks her truth, and she is able to communicate it from a place of an empowered place. She's also willing and ready to have other people share their stories and their truth as well. That's why she has her hand open, kind of beckoning others to share. Now, there is something here that perhaps some of you are reflecting on, something in your past emotional experience that now is going to start to change the story you tell about yourself, who you are, and it might actually lead to a more empowered, not only view of yourself and your life experience, but also how you share from a more empowered place with others in your life. Now, at the bottom of the deck, your underlying energy is the moon. And the moon is where there is a lack of clarity. There is kind of the way is unclear. It can also be feeling that call towards something that is going to take you out of your comfort zone. So underneath that, we have Strength and we have the Tower. Something has come in to shake you up in the past. And it took strength to really move through that. When the Tower comes in, that is when everything we've been working towards or everything we've been kind of hiding behind as far as like wanting to keep something safe and secure kind of collapses around us. This can be where we are forced to make a move, whether in our career, whether in our home or living environment, whether this is in love, where something happened that really shook up the very foundation, kind of got rid of everything except the foundation, if that makes sense. And it took a lot of courage and strength to get through that. And I think from that place, there has been kind of this lack of clarity. Now, I do feel like this is a continuation of the reading that came forward, I think in May for you guys, where you had a double moon card came up twice, very prominent, where it was almost like everything was so unclear. I think that's still kind of coming through here, and maybe that's why you're reflecting on something in the past, because there still is this kind of lack of clarity, even after the Tower has fallen, even after there was kind of this disruption in your life and something you really kind of had to hold steady through. That now I think there's something here where you're trying to see your own clarity in what seems to be kind of a lack of clarity in your experience. So let's pull the cards and see what story wants to come out for you guys for Aries this month. What does Aries need to know about the month of June? Ooh, King of Wands. Okay, so that's coming up as your main point of challenge, so we'll get into that in just a second. The King of Wands is a fiery individual. This is this is someone who works with your element, Aries. Technically, it's a card of Leo, but again, it's someone who really works with their passions, works with their fire, can be that dynamic CEO, business owner. But with the Five of Pentacles coming in right after that, there's something that says here that there may have been a time in your life when you embraced that energy and it did not reap a return on your investment. Five of Pentacles, that's where we feel like we haven't received that return on our investment. We didn't get enough. We were left out in the cold. People turned their back on us, or we lost money in some capacity. So there's something here around this King of Wands energy. Now, this could literally be an individual in your life where, if we're looking at this more as a personal reading, court cards can be seen as people, figures in your life. This could literally be a business owner that you worked for, or a really intense kind of fiery boss, somebody along those lines that you worked with. Maybe you're working with them now, or you worked with them in the past. And again, it's somehow that relationship, working with them, there was a level of not a return on your investment of time and energy, or maybe this person turned their back on you. This could be, or maybe this person fired you, or you name it. But there is a direct relationship towards this energy and the Tower coming up here that I feel intuitively. So for some of you, there was something around this kind of energy. Now, if it's not a person outside of yourself, this could literally be something that you've tried to embody in the past, meaning you tried to become the King of Wands. You were the business owner. You were the person kind of spearheading, leading something, and something didn't quite work out. And it's left you stuck in this place of kind of a poverty mindset of, I didn't get enough, I never make enough, my business, I had to lose out on my business, something along those lines. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords at the heart of your reading, which is what Spirit's asking you to really reflect on and embrace this month to help you get through this. Ace of Swords is clarity. It's a new truth. It is that aha realization of, oh my gosh, this is a pattern. And I think because you're reflecting on the past version of yourself, there's something coming through here that maybe you're facing something this month, either around why something kind of keeps happening for you, why you can't quite get ahead, maybe in the physical world, or something that there's clarity around, maybe a business owner or a boss in your life that has been kind of maybe holding you back, or that took a lot of strength to deal with. Or this is looking back at a past version of yourself again, where you're like, man, I just can never seem to really get this off the ground, or I can never really seem to embody this energy. And it's going to say, there's going to be this clarity. If you stay open and curious with a self-reflection, I think even on your past connections as well, because this really could be your interactions with others. There's going to be this kind of aha moment of like, oh my gosh, I see my truth now. And that's the Queen of Swords. I see my truth. I see the story. I see why I had to go through all of this, or I see why I was continually in this cycle with this person or with myself. And it's because I wasn't connecting on an emotional level. I love this. Strength. So after this aha moment, we have strength again. It's saying, can you have the strength to connect on this very authentic level with others, to become vulnerable? And maybe that's what you're realizing here, is maybe you never had that vulnerability with someone. And it could be that someone blocked you from that. There could actually be, maybe you're realizing how you were raised, that you didn't, maybe that was not an example in your family, or maybe that was not an example in, again, maybe this is all dealing with work and there was not that example of how to connect like that. This could actually be too, if this is someone from your past, this could be realizing again, something that you went through something with them that was kind of like a shakeup, and it was maybe not the best, again, leaving you out here in the cold. But there is something here where maybe you're realizing a gift of that person from the past. And maybe you're realizing, I maybe don't have to carry the Five of Pentacles with me. I can actually maybe reconnect with them in a way that shares my version of that interaction in a new way. let me see if I can describe this. This could be like where maybe in the past, and actually, I have a very good example of this myself in my own life. So I worked for many years when I was much younger, almost 10 years, for a business owner who was very difficult to work with and for. And it ended in me kind of finally having to just walk away from it in a very short period of time. And it shook up my entire life at that point, because I did not have the money coming in that I had had before. It also made me kind of review my whole career path and who I wanted to work for and under. And I realized, many years after leaving that job, that I still kind of held on to that dynamic between me and that individual. And when I actually looked at it from a place of wanting to see it in a different light, looking back almost 10 years after leaving, that I actually saw the gift that I had from that experience, the gift of how much I learned, the gift of how much I brought, and hadn't really recognized for myself of what I had brought to that business, what I had brought to again, just the running of, managing other people and all of that. And I saw it in a new light and realized, actually, I can connect with that story on a much different level. I don't have to share anymore about how I worked for someone who was, was almost kind of, I wouldn't say emotionally abusive, but at the time, because I wasn't strong enough to understand how to kind of put those boundaries in place between my work and my personal life, that it did become emotionally abusive for me. But I had to look at that and be strong enough to say, that's because of me, not because of the other person or because of the situation. And the truth of it, now that I can see the clarity of it, is now I can see the strength, what I learned from that. And I can break that cycle now in how I choose to communicate about my time working for that individual and working in that place of business. And I can now connect. I can go back now and really connect authentically with even that individual. I can sit there and let them know and honor them and how much I was able to learn about myself. I'm also able to see them in a more authentic way, in a more equal light. And I can, again, find this beautiful, almost making peace with the past with the Six of Cups, to be able to, in my future relationships that are like that with business owners or me owning my own business, I can connect more authentically, understanding and making peace with this part of my past and this person. I hope that I hope this makes sense, and I hope that was a good example for you guys. So there might be something there. Because at the bottom of the deck, you had the Hermit, which is a beautiful energy. That's the energy of going within. This is the energy of truly the soul seeker, the person who wants to go within and discover what makes them unique, discover the light from within, to be able to shine that out. And for some of you, it may have to be making peace with a past person in your life and realizing, oh my gosh, that's where I lost a little bit of my magic. Or I realize how much this past interaction, although difficult, actually allowed me to find something within myself that I needed to see. And that's the true lesson and beauty of the story for me to share, not the negative part. So there is a level, I feel, kind of almost a level of forgiveness that needs to come through here for you, forgiving either the other person or forgiving yourself. Three of Swords. There is a level of heartache and pain associated with this person or with this version of yourself that you've wanted to show. Now, all the way over here, we have the Eight of Swords. We have the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Yeah, this is really speaking on where you've felt like you couldn't do something, where you felt held back, where you felt blocked. And that may be, again, because of this individual, this person, this wounding that comes from this person in your past, this interaction, this relationship. It's really realizing how much this person made you feel like you couldn't do something, made you feel held back, made you feel maybe where you were stuck. And it could also be too, if this is a version of yourself that you want to step into, if this is every time you try to show yourself as that business owner or as the person who follows their passions, maybe you've held yourself back because of the pain or the lack of success in the past. And now it's time to really speak on that, to speak, to share with your words where it's not working. Or where have you felt stuck? And if this is somebody you're dealing with now, this is asking you to communicate that. Communicating where you feel like your hands are tied or you can't see a way out. Knight of Cups and the Ten of Cups. Very interesting for the Five of Pentacles, because this is really bringing this into more of a relationship dynamic here. The Ten of Cups really can be seen as a happy family card. You can see in this depiction, it looks almost like a wedding cake with a couple on top. The Knight of Cups is a card of Pisces. It's a card of going out there as the hopeful, optimistic, romantic individual. And I think with the Five of Pentacles, there was maybe a level of going out there with this sense of I'm going to go out there with this optimism and this excitement towards my Ten of Cups, and it maybe was never realized. Instead, it kind of led to, you feeling like you didn't get a return on that investment. Now, this could also be saying, but were you really following what you were passionate about? Were you really honoring your cup? Did you really have a clear sense of what that Ten of Cups was for yourself? And this might be that really good review of getting to that place to say, let's see, how can I say this for you guys? You know, you might feel like someone has held you back from the dream, or that you don't have enough money or enough in the physical to get to your dream, to get to that place of true emotional fulfillment, the happy family card. And you may be reflecting on that. You may be reflecting as to how maybe sometimes when we think of the Knight of Cups, this can be where the person may come across a little naive, it's like the hopeful romantic who has rose-colored glasses on, and it may seem like that when you're looking back. You're like, man, I feel stupid or I feel naive that I trusted this person with my dream, or that I tried to work towards this dream with them and it led to nothing. And this is that beautiful point where then that clarity comes in and says, hey, we're all naive at some point, but isn't it better to be the person with rose-colored glasses on, the person who came forward fully with their heart open, and to have it maybe not work out, than to be the other way around, than to be the pessimistic person, to be the person who pushes people away, to be the person who always has their guard up. So keep that in mind, that this could be, again, making peace with the past version of yourself as well, where maybe you felt a little stupid, or you felt like your vision for the whatever this is, because the Ten of Cups is true joy and fulfillment, and whatever you're looking at, whatever aspect of your life you're looking at. But this could be really saying, you know what, I went forward the best that I could with good intention. And yeah, it might not have led to my Ten of Cups, but I'm seeing now at least the best of myself in this process. It wasn't all bad. And with clarity and the Devil coming in, there's this beautiful aha moment of what's held you back based on this. Whatever this is, whether this is an individual, your relationship with an individual from the past, whether this is a relationship with an individual now. Again, this could be the person that you're married to, where it's just not working out, or this could be an individual, because with the Ten of Cups coming in, that could be that. This could also be if it's a version of yourself, again, you wanting to be the business owner, you wanting to be the person kind of who leads from that place of passion, then you're seeing now what's held you back from moving towards that. And it is something around where you've been hurt in the past, and where you are held back from the pain of the past. Yeah, and Ten of Coins. Ten of Coins is just like the Ten of Cups, but on a physical experience. So meaning this is like the ultimate realization of the home and the legacy and the money that we want to have in our life. And I think for some of you, there's this realization of either where you've held yourself back from really understanding what you're capable of creating for yourself, or the legacy that you really want to pursue. Or it could be where you're being held back currently by a home or what you've worked towards. This could be where you did work towards saving something, building a home, somewhere along that line, and you're realizing now, like, the truth has to be told. It isn't what, we don't have enough, or it isn't what I ultimately wanted. And now it's become a burden. Now it's become something that truly is holding us back. But this could also be where maybe you had tried to pursue a legacy with someone. You had tried to, build a business. You had tried to build the home and the family and all of that with someone. And the realization is like, why isn't this working out? And how can I make peace with the past version of myself, either to really be able to transmute my relationship to this person now so I can start telling a different story and start connecting on a more authentic level and be vulnerable again, or how, like, there is a feeling here of where your innocent, maybe naive version of self was hurt, and where you put up a big boundary against that. And now really where you can maybe now make peace with the past where that happened, tell a new story around that, and really have the clarity as to what you want to build for yourself, the aha moment, where you haven't been really connecting on that authentic level, and how can you start to do that? How can you start to really break through that wall of where you maybe felt stupid or where you felt naive, and now you can tell a different story about that to say, no, wait a second, that was the innocent version of myself. That was the romantic glasses version of myself. I want that back. Okay, so with strength, we have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there's something here around, this is going to take strength, because it always takes courage. Ooh. Yeah, with the Emperor. Ooh, yeah. It always takes courage to either forgive someone from our past, forgive ourselves, or being able to actually realize that a change in a dynamic needs to take place, that we are being held back by something, that maybe it's time to release a tie to a home or an investment or, something along those lines. But with the Seven of Swords and the Emperor, this is really stating it's time to look at something from a new perspective. It's also time to step up into your power, Aries. The Emperor card is your card in the tarot. It does share some energy with Taurus, but it's mainly your card, Aries. This is where you sit in your throne and you make the decisions for your life. And I think for some of you, there was a time where that did not happen because there was someone else in your life who was dictating that to you. Or maybe now in your life, you're being called up to have that energy. Maybe you have been kind of going with the Moon card coming up here, just kind of, going through the darkness, just going through the day to day. And now it's like, okay, I see now where I don't feel abundant in the dream that I'm pursuing. I see now where I'm being held back from the pain of the past around either this business owner, this fiery individual in my life, or my constant pursuit to become this person. And it's time to have the strength to face that you're the emperor in your own life, or to face the emperor in your life. If this King of Wands is the emperor, to look at like, why are you allowing someone else to dictate what goes on in your life experience? Now with the Two of Cups, we have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups can speak to a level of dissatisfaction or discontent in our life, but it's also where we're not honoring our cup. Where we're looking at everybody else's cup. This can be like where sometimes we feel like the outsider. We're looking at everybody else celebrating. We're looking at everybody else in the happy jobs. We're looking at everybody else in the happy family, and we're like, but what about me? This isn't what I wanted. And it's because you're forgetting your cup and you're too focused on what's outside and not fulfilling to you. And in reality, you're not focused on fulfilling what you need and want yourself, and then connecting that with others openly, authentically, and vulnerably. Let's see what else. What does Aries need to know about the Two of Cups? The High Priestess, deep knowing. This is the wisdom of really realizing too that there's a decision that is being made on a deep level here. But there's also, I think there's a deep knowing of where you've been denying some aspect of yourself, or where in the past, because with the Six of Cups, you see that the older individual giving the younger individual a cup. There's that feeling here of maybe where you forgot about that cup in the past. You forgot about the gift of who you are, the love, the needs that you need to have met. And it's time to really get back to that place to realize you can get back out there on the horse with rose-colored glasses again. But you have to honor what's in your cup. You have to take authority for yourself. You have to be the one to have the strength to get on the horse and start moving again towards the Ten of Cups. It can also be too where something here happened where you took someone else's cup, someone else's dream, and you denied your own. And on a deep knowing, you know that that is not fulfilling to you, and it's time to really realize that and start to connect from your cup. At the bottom of the deck here, we have the Eight of Cups. I kind of figured that would come up. The Eight of Cups is where you realize what no longer works for you, what no longer is fulfilling, where it's time to walk away from something on an emotional level. And that can take a certain level of forgiveness to say, I'm making peace with the past, and I'm now walking on because I know that there are two more cups to get me to the Ten of Cups. And this could be, again, walking away from trying to be this version of yourself, where you realize every time I try to build a business, my home life goes to kaput. So instead of sitting here and trying to be this person, I'm going to just focus on meeting the right person and building a great home life. And I'm going to realize I don't have to, dishonor my cup by trying to be somebody that maybe I never needed to be. Or this could be where you realize that in a relationship dynamic, it is not, you try to move towards, again, the Ten of Cups, that it's not getting you there. And it's time to walk away from that. Now, this, again, if this is something that's happened a long time ago and you've kind of been carrying it with you, this is simply just taking the month to go on that kind of internal spiritual review, the hermit, the soul seeker, to look back at all of the people in the past that might have been this kind of dynamic, making peace with them, understanding what you've learned about yourself, getting to that place of where maybe you held yourself back, didn't feel like you could maybe generate the wealth that you wanted. This can be where maybe you're reflecting on, with the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles coming up here, where you undercut your value, where you sold yourself short, and where now it's time to walk away from that whole cycle. And it's time for you now to connect in a much more powerful way, and in an empowered way, and to really know what you learned about yourself, what you realize your strengths are now as you look back at this whole cycle, and as you are kind of forgiving it and walking away from it and really moving forward, owning your own value, owning that you are the emperor in your life and taking charge on that level. Okay, now I'm going to pull a energy oracle card here to really take a look at what the overall energy, or the overarching energy for the month of June. So what does Aries need to know about the energy for the month of June? What does Aries need to know? Cards are kind of sticky here. What does Aries need to know about the energies for the month of June? I like the cards to come out authentically, so it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute. What does Aries need to know about the month of June? All right, well, if nothing comes out, maybe I'll, Oh, it's because this wanted to come out. I love it. Victory. Number 28, breaking down to the number 10, further breaking down to the number 1. Endings and brand new beginnings. Victory. I think for some of you, you need to understand how maybe there was a level of victory that you didn't give to yourself. You didn't realize, again, how much you had learned about yourself in this dynamic, or how far you've moved on from this. This could be, again, reviewing all of this and realizing, my God, I have come so far. I have come so far since then. And giving yourself that credit, really saying, gosh, good job. I can leave this behind. And I can start to tell a new story about myself, a story that is empowered, a story that allows me to realize my self-value, to realize my worth, to realize the light that I bring. This is actually really beautiful. I'm getting a really positive feeling here, Aries. It's almost like suddenly you're seeing yourself in this, you're seeing your own soul. Yeah, death and rebirth. I love it. Number 13, powerful transformation energy. I think you're seeing an old version of yourself and you're letting that go and realizing what a different place you're in now. 8 of Cups again, and the 8 of Swords. So you have the 8 of Swords down here and you have the 8 of Cups. I think there's a realization of where you had felt trapped for some time, and walking away from that finally, walking away from what held you back, what made you feel bound, what made you feel like you couldn't have your 10 of Cups or your 10 of Pentacles. And that rebirth is you as the more powerful version of yourself. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 3 of Swords, the pain of the past again. So yeah, this is a month where you're finally, I think, just releasing all of that pain that you've held, really realizing and honoring just how much more powerful you are as an individual, and how much more honestly you can connect with your life experience, how you can share that with others, how knowing what you've gone through, you're never going to lose sight of your cup again, and how you can tell this whole story from a different perspective, from a more empowered perspective. Okay. And now we'll pull a Power of Surrender card here, and then we'll pull one final card to get the last message for the reading for the month of June. So the blessing here is really just stepping up into your full power through simply reviewing something here that was very emotionally, I can feel like emotionally traumatic for you. So we have surrender to success. I love that. It says, you are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. So, yep, don't look back here. Look back in a way that shows you who you are, not that's holding someone else to blame. It says, leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. And I like how it says, surrender your attachment to results. The formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen. Then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. And that's really the feeling of the 8 of Cups. It's walking away from what you know no longer is emotionally fulfilling, and realizing you're never going to turn your back and come back. You're done. This person walks away. But also knowing that there's the adventure of the additional 2 cups out there that will get, it's the meeting of someone, or the meeting of people who are going to create the 10 of Cups for you, who are going to lead to that cycle. So there's this feeling of opening yourself up to connection, opening yourself up to new partnerships, opening yourself up to telling your story in this more positive, empowered way that's going to attract, I think, a level of success that maybe you weren't even aware is waiting for you. A level of success that might take you on a whole new road. So this is very, very beautiful reading here, Aries. Okay, final card here. Let's pull a final card. I'll read the little excerpt that comes from the book, or that comes with this oracle deck, and then we'll wrap up the reading. So what does Aries need to know as a final message? Whoa, quite a few here. I'll take them all since they all came out. So we have Wisdom of the Divine Feminine, which is number 9. I love that. The energy of kind of the energy of kind of the magic of life, the divinity of kind of universal knowledge. We have grounding, number 15, which breaks down to number 6, the energy of love and physical abundance. And then we have paradigm shift, number 4, building a new foundation. Okay, so I'm just going to read the little excerpt from each of these. So number 9, it says, wisdom of the divine feminine. Divine feminine wisdom empowers you to grow into your vision, your dreams, and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Perhaps you envision a very different life for yourself to what you are experiencing now. This wisdom reminds you that you can experience even the most extraordinary dreams as reality if you are willing to grow into what you desire, to become what you seek. Surrender any plans about how you can best manifest your dreams and instead allow life to guide and nourish you through your experiences each day. The universe supports your divine destiny and is helping you become all you are meant to be. That is a really beautiful kind of add to this reading, in that I think you guys can look back and see how much you wanted something differently in your life, and how much now you have grown towards it, and maybe experiencing it as we speak. And this might just be the realization of, oh my gosh, look how much I've grown. But continue to, focus on, again, connecting with others and what you want to have happen, and then just start to embody this new, more empowered version of the self. We have number 15, which is grounding. It says, you long for the free and open worlds of spirit and light, yet you also yearn to experience the healing power and divine joy of sacred sound and living color. You are meant to bring joy, beauty, and comfort to this world, to share the spiritual light. To do so, you need grounding. Your dreams want you just as much as you want them. Grounding helps you bring your dreams to life in your world for the benefit of many. And grounding really speaks, I like how dreams are coming through very strongly here. So yes, there's definitely that wanting of the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles. Grounding can speak to really getting yourself to that place where, your head isn't in we can dream, but we also need to be very present in the moment. We have to realize that our dreams are built now with the choices we make and how we act, and again, how we choose to take action. They don't just kind of come in from the future. It's one of those things where when we are present in the moment, we realize I am living my dream because I'm choosing in this moment to make choices that continue to connect me on an emotional level to that dream, not to what didn't emotionally fulfill me, but what does emotionally fulfill me. And I'm continuing to bring my cup, honoring my cup that holds my love. And I'm pouring that into each and every moment so that it continues to grow my dreams into the future as I move from the present with it. It's a kind of a hard concept because time is such a strange concept to us, but we are literally making our dreams come true in the present moment. And there's something really to be said about that, to enjoy every moment as it comes and to really be coming from that empowered place of honoring yourself in each decision you make throughout the day. So paradigm shift, number 4. It says, you are undergoing radical growth in your belief systems. Now is the time to challenge old attitudes and question previous expectations. You are in an extraordinary time. Great leaps forward can be made in a moment. The world you thought you knew can suddenly break open and a new world can become your reality. And I think there's something to be said here about you. Many of you are already realizing this, that you're already looking back at how far you've come, how much you've transformed, and how it's true. In one moment, one decision can literally open you up to so much in such a short period of time. Now, I've experienced this personally in my own life. And I think for many of us, we sometimes don't stop to actually give ourselves that chance to see, oh my gosh, we've reached the top, or I've reached that place that I never thought I was going to get to when I was back here. And for those of you who are going through this now, this is that moment where you get to co-create with your life. You get to start to take action towards your dreams. And this may be the month where if you're not reflecting on this is the month where you walk away. And it will be amazing to realize what can happen in a very short period of time, where it's literally 1 year from now, you could look back and say, oh my gosh, look at how far I've come. Or 2 years. Sometimes when I look back at even just 3 years ago, for me, my entire life changed during, the past 3 years. Some people's lives changed negatively. Mine changed positively. And it all was almost like a switch was flipped. Could I have predicted that? No. But did I take conscious action in the hope that something along those lines would happen? Yes. So keep that in mind, that if you're making this choice now because you're seeing something from the past in a new light and you're making peace with it and you're choosing to walk away from something now, your dreams will become a reality for yourself. And you'll look back at this point and realize, oh my gosh, that's the point where everything changed. Or you're looking back this month and realizing, oh my gosh, look at how much has changed for me. Look at how victorious I am. Look at the new doors still opening for me. And that's the story you tell. That's the story you continue to grow from. And that will only bring in more blessings, more abundance. It's all coming. All right, Aries, I will leave you there. What a beautiful reading. Very empowering reading. I hope you do have an empowered month of June. If you'd like to book your own personal reading, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, if you like and subscribe or comment on any of these videos, I so appreciate that. It really allows me to continue what I'm doing here, which is something that I love, something that I'm very passionate about. And if I don't see you here, I look forward to seeing you next month in July for the next Illumination reading. Bye, Aries.